Day 13. Wow, already. It's hard to believe it's been almost 2 weeks since I left Dallas. Most of those days have been very well planned and thought out. I knew I had not been to this part of the country previously, so my chances of getting back would be slim. So I wanted to take advantage of seeing the things I was most interested in while I was on this trip. That meant I had a schedule. I was pretty rigorous to sticking to it. Don't get me wrong, I made the occasional stop for photos, but not to the degree I normally would. Today was a little bit different, mainly because I had problems finding out information about what was open and not open that I was interested in stopping at. I started the day off at Fort Kearney State Historical Park, just south of where I spent the night. I felt like I'd overslept this morning and was dragging when I left the hotel at 8:30, and then realized, no, that's on the schedule because they don't open till 9 and they're 5 minutes away. Beautiful little history site there. And my next stop was supposed to be Lebanon, Kansas. Instead, 20 minutes later, I passed by a private museum called Pioneer Village. And I'd seen it on the map. Then it catched my eye when I looked at it online. So I was planning on just driving by. But as I was going by, I saw the buildings they had in their collection. I saw the size of some of the exhibition buildings. And I was like, I need to check them out. Well, I checked them out for 2 hours. It's one of the most impressive museums I've ever been to. Their collection is huge. If you're into automobiles, trucks, tractors, they have hundreds upon hundreds of vehicles. To the point that when I got to some of the back buildings and opened the door and saw the line of tractors going all the way back, I was like, okay, I'm good. Just because, wow, it was pretty overwhelming at times, but well worth the stop. So if you're in South Central Nebraska, it's well worth a visit. So I leave there. And again, that wasn't supposed to be on the schedule at all, but there went 2 hours. And 30 minutes later, I go through the town of Red Cloud. And that's the childhood home of Willa, Cather, who you may remember from high school literature as the author of O Pioneer or My Antonia. I remembered reading excerpts from O Pioneer and Death Comes to the Archbishop in high school, so I was like, let me pull over. Again, hour and 45 minutes later, I'm leaving. Had no intention of stopping at either place. So here I am, 45 minutes from my starting point, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've still got the whole drive to Wichita. So I get to Lebanon and visited the geographical center of the lower 48 states, did my photo op there, and couldn't be content with that. I had to go into town itself, to their little visitor center and to the little market to pick up a magnet for my refrigerator showing the monument for being the center of the lower 48 states. From there, it was pretty much a straight shot into Wichita, Kansas, where I am this evening. And it was a beautiful drive through rolling farmland. And I still haven't seen the part of Kansas that I always thought Kansas was. I was thinking it was basically flat, no trees, sea forever, farmland. And there's been that part of it, but it's only a part. Today's hills were quite rolling. Now, granted, nothing like the mountains I was in earlier this week, but very rolling terrain, quite forested. I was surprised how many trees I saw. And then I hit the interstate. Now, for almost 2 weeks, I've been driving on little 2-lane roads, if not gravel roads. And all of a sudden, I'm back on the interstates again. And it took me a few minutes to get back into the rhythm of driving on the interstate. I felt like I was going to be run over and squashed like a bug a few times before my foot got heavy enough to keep up. Speaking of heavy foot, my cruise control saved me yet again today. Because my foot does get heavy, I rely on my cruise control to keep me just above the speed limit. And sure enough, crested a hill, there was a trooper sitting on the side of the road, and luckily, cruise control had me where I was supposed to be. So tonight, I'm in Wichita, Kansas. In the morning, I have a couple of stops here in town, and then it's to Dallas.